Hey, Law, I just logged on my Tauren Hunter. You ready for that Zulamon run on Cata Classic?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just logging on my Orc Mage.
Yeah, man, I'm really hoping we get that Amani Warbear achievement this time. I think that would be a nice addition to my character's mount collection. Just kidding, everybody. It's Boxmas Prime back at it again with another World of Warcraft discussion video. Now, with the long chaotic reign of Jaster Gallywix finally brought to an end, I've got some mixed emotions on how this patch's story was handled. Undermine, the music, the fights, the characters, it's all really solid. It was really well done, but I can't help but feeling like there's just something missing from what we got here. I'll give you one hint. It's something found on a red banner, and it's only mentioned once during the Gallywix fight in a throwaway line.
Gallywix! It doesn't have to end here!
Oh, save me the mush! The Horde made you soft!
I'm not being soft. I'm offering you a way out!
You don't make the offers! I do! Now watch and learn how a real goblin takes charge!
Yeah, that. It was actually a pretty cool line. I really like that. Narratively, this patch did a great job wrapping up Gallywix's arc. And before we go any further, no, this is not a knock at the Renzik plotline. That was really well done, and it worked great all around in my opinion. An Alliance Goblin is actually a very cool concept, but with the overall narrative of the patch, it feels a bit out of place. My issue is that, well, the Alliance feel like they get consistent narrative every time, and the Horde's representation is boiled down to, well, just Gazlowe, and I feel like the Bilgewater Cartel got done really dirty here. Let's start with something that really bugged me, Thrall not being an Undermine. Now look, let's roll back to the Goblin starting zone. Thrall helps defeat Gallywix and brings the Bilgewater Cartel into the Horde. I'm not saying he needs to challenge Gallywix to a Mak'gara or anything, but the former war chief should have been there to help Gazlowe liberate Undermine. Imagine this, at the start of the raid, Thrall shows up to back up Gazlowe, bringing in Horde reinforcements. It would have been the perfect time, the perfect moment to showcase how far the cartel has come, but also how the Horde supports the cartel. This could have taken place when Gazlowe and the other cartel leaders kind of go off on their own while we deal with the bosses outside of the Galagio. I'd bet a lot of cartel members hated working under Gallywix and would be ready to get the former trade prince out of power. Now, I know Thrall is insanely powerful, but you could easily write him out of the final battle. Maybe the Black Blood could even nerf his powers a bit or something. It's something that's been done in the past, or simply you could have him just fighting in the streets with the Horde. What I really would have loved is a proper conversation between Gazlowe and Thrall about Gallywix. Thrall could relate it back to his own experiences with Garrosh. Maybe even say something like, it's time for the goblins to move on from Gallywix, just like I had to with Hellscream. That was a good Thrall impression. Even a Starkey Gallywix line jabbing at Thrall would have been gold. As for the Bilgewater Cartel itself, yes, some characters do make cameos, but none of the major players from Kazan show up in a meaningful way. I get that people go their separate ways, but narratively, it would have been awesome to have some smaller quest lines involving the Goblin characters like Sassy Hardwrench, the Gob Squad, Gallywix's bodyguard from the short story, and others visiting Undermine. This story started with them, and it's only right that they would help bring it full circle. Now let's talk about the raid. Narratively, I'd rework a chunk of the first half. I'd start by having Horde forces arrive to help shift the tide against Gallywix and back up the cartels like mentioned previously. Here's how I'd structure it. The first boss, Vexy and the Gear Grinders, kicked things off strong, and I honestly really like this fight as is. Next, let's move Rick Reverb outside the Galagio, hyping up the final showdown as Gallywix's personal promoter. The third boss could be the Cauldron of Carnage. An amazing fight, but I would put it inside the casino as entertainment for the guests. Honestly, the casino was so underutilized, and I was expecting the entire raid to take place there. It's a unique setting, but I feel like we barely scratched the surface of it. Also, sorry, but I would probably remove Styx, and I don't think he adds much narratively. I'd move Sprocketmonger Lockenstock into the Galagio alongside the other bosses. Overall, the raid was great, but I just wanted more of the casino and less of the Undermine areas that we've already explored doing our daily quests. The aesthetic is Goblin, and it deserves the spotlight. Gallywix also should have had more gold in his boss room. It's Gallywix, come on, you know he would have tons of gold there. In conclusion, I have really been enjoying patch 11.1. In fact, I would argue it's my favorite part of the War Within, but I still can't shake the feeling that just something was missing. The Horde needed more presence, the Bilgewater Cartel deserved more story, and the casino, well, we should have spent more time gambling in there. But hey, that's just my take. What about you guys? What did you think of patch 11.1? Did you like it? Did you enjoy the raid? Did you like the storyline with the goblins? I'd love to hear in the comments below. This will most likely be the last time I talk about this topic in the War Within. But like I said, I do think this patch was very solid. But I think something that was like an 8 out of 10 could have been elevated to a 9 out of 10 with a few changes. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Alright, Law, wait, I don't see your character online. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, I logged on the Mop Classic beta. Okay, I'll just log on my Torn Hunter on Cata Classic in a second. I'll meet you there, man.